Long.
Hello and welcome to NJ.com's live chat with TV writer Vicki Hyman, where we'll be breaking down last night's season 6 finale of The Real Housewives of New Jersey. Well, apparently, Vicki, there can be a season finale at a charity event with no drama.
No weave pulling, no table tipping. It was sad, wasn't it?
Well, I don't know if I'd call it sad, but not certainly not what we're used to.
No.
All right, let's get right into it. Teresa Giudice calmly and rationally reacts to an uncomfortable situation at the Ladybug charity event last night, and as you said in your recap, where's the fun in that?
There's no fun in that. I mean, you can look at it as sort of a triumph of the human spirit. You know, Teresa finally, understanding that there are more important things in her life than these ridiculous little dramas that she helped drum up. Yes. And sort of going past that and being calm, being rational, but it's just not very interesting television, unfortunately.
Well, I mean, I for one feel duped. I didn't see any table flipping last night by Teresa. I mean, I know that's what's expected at this point.
That's what's
right?
expected. And what does it say about us, Anthony? What does it say about us?
That we love reality TV, Vicki.
Yes.
That's all I can say. All right. With all the real life drama going on with the Giudice sentencing, Santagate seemed to prevail all season. Did that seem out of place to you? A little forced?
It was definitely a little forced, and I really had a problem with bringing in a rumor about mothers, parents, kids. The rumor should be about the core housewives. It should not be about the parents or the kids. So I understand, of course, where the twins are coming from. However, if we're going to step back and take a look at how this all ended up on television, somebody who must have been close to the twins told producers that such a rumor exists. I don't think that it was Teresa Giudice who said this, who brought it up. Yes, she was there. She's friends with Victoria Gotti. Victoria Gotti brought it to the table, but the way the twins were going after Teresa felt, really misplaced. It felt unfair that, they gave sort of lip service to, oh, Amber, I expected this of Amber, but Teresa's my friend, and Teresa's been their friend a lot less longer than Amber has. So, and the other weird thing was that they were mad at Teresa for telling Dina about it, although Dina didn't really talk about it. Amber told her husband, and while, yes, you tell your husband things, of course you do, Jim is the one who just dropped it like a grenade at the Florida trip. So,
well, we're going to get to Jim Marchese in a second.
Okay,
but
let's talk about it.
I want to go on record and say that Teresa Giudice did not spread that rumor, and I just love how she fluffed off that nonsense every time it was brought up. She was like, you know what? I've got bigger problems in my life than dealing with this ridiculous rumor. So props to Teresa.
Well, props to Teresa, although I will say that on a couple of instances, I think she said a couple of things that were off the mark, like one of them was, well, if somebody made up a rumor like this about, my husband and my mother, I would laugh it off. Ha, 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 that's ridiculous. And we all know Teresa takes her family very seriously. I think Andy still has, the scars on his neck from when she pushed him out of the way. That's not quite right.
Yeah, all right. So I'm watching this finale last night, and I get the impression that all of the court stuff was either tacked on at the last minute. It felt like an afterthought. Did it feel like that to you?
It felt very wrong to me. I mean, certainly they were fast-forwarding 6 months. But I think the really strange thing about this season is that there is very real drama going on in Teresa's life that because she didn't want to talk about it, because she probably shouldn't be talking about it and couldn't be talking about it, it didn't really get talked about this season. It was like she'd mentioned, yeah, there are things going on. Yes, we might be going off. Joe saying we might be going off to college or to camp. And people would sort of make references to it, but that wasn't the drama of the season, and yet at the end they're going to make the last 15 minutes of the season all about that and all about the other housewives' reaction to it, when all season long Kathy and Jacqueline and everybody's been like, see no evil, hear no evil, speak no evil. They haven't been talking about it. I don't know what's going on. And then suddenly they're going to let the cameras in, or the cameras are going to force their way in. When Teresa's getting sentenced, they can capture this reaction, which I just did not like at all.
Well, we spoke very briefly about this before, and you kind of mentioned that it felt manufactured? Is that kind of how you would describe it?
No, I think the word I used was tacky. It was just
Tacky.
tacky as all get out.
Okay. Only because we saw the way Kathy reacted, and how did you feel about
Yeah.
that?
Well, we discussed this. I think that their reactions were pretty genuine, but you're taking it with a grain of salt that they're having these reactions in front of the camera. And if they really, really felt emotional about Teresa and really felt for what Teresa's going through, they'd probably respect what I'm sure are Teresa's wishes and not talking about it, not crying about it in front of the camera.
Right.
Teresa just didn't want that. So you notice that Dina wasn't one of the people who the cameras were focused on, and Dina's a very close friend of Teresa. So I'm wondering whether Dina was like, not having it, as Dina has sort of done all season long. You got to respect her for that.
Well, all right. Well, let me just say this, that as much, I've spoken to you about this before, as much as I'd love to get a drink with Joe Gorga and hang out with Joe Gorga, the reality show world needs more Jim Marchese. Agreed? What do you think?
Agreed. I mean, I think Jim Marchese was kind of a breath of fresh air this season. Yes, I mean, he did a lot of really cruddy things and a lot of really not nice things, but what I appreciated about him is that I think he came on the show, he knew he was going to be a villain, and he embraced it. I think a lot of people come on the show thinking that their best light is going to be shown, that they're going to be like the heroines of their own life, and they are sadly mistaken, because that's not how reality TV generally works. And I don't think he had any problem at all with just being completely blunt, take no prisoners, and I think you got to respect that as well.
The guy gave us some great lines, man.
He did.
That's all I have to say. All right, who gets yearbook couple of the year, Vicki?
Oh.
Wait a minute. I'm going to give you the choice. Is it Joe and Melissa Gorga or Jim and Amber Marchese?
It's Jim and Amber Marchese, or
Really?
Mark Crazy, or there's a lot of nicknames for them. They came into the show and they sort of made it their own. I'm not saying I liked what they did all the time. I'm not saying that I appreciate what was said, how they went about what they did, but they knew what they were doing. That's what I said the entire season. They know exactly what they're doing.
Well, there was some surgery to the cast this season. We got the addition of the twins, Nicole and Teresa. Teresa. Tell me how you felt about the twins.
Well, at the beginning, it seemed like they were the sort of comic relief that Teresa Giudice was at the beginning of the show. They were kind of silly, although they seemed determined to bring on the drama themselves. I can't remember if it was Teresa or Nicole who went after Amber and pulled her hair, but certainly Teresa Aprea was the one who confronted Teresa in the finale and was the one who got, I think, bent out of shape beyond all reason against Teresa. So, I mean, they brought it. I just didn't think that they were that interesting. I kind of liked Reno. I thought he was kind of funny. The whole Bobby-Nicole drama, didn't really do that much for me. Does he love me? Does he not love me? Does he give me a ceramic foot for my wine? It was just kind of weird. And there's a whole backstory about, they only got together for the purposes of the show, and he doesn't really like her. And Jim, again, totally brought up, oh, Bobby's cheating on her, Bobby's only with her for the show, Bobby says nasty things about her. He just went places that husbands have not gone before. Maybe wives, but the husbands have not gone there before.
Vicki, maybe that's why he was hiding in the bathroom, right?
Maybe that's why Bobby was hiding in the bathroom?
Yes. I mean, Jim is just spewing all of this stuff about the condo and all of the illicit stuff perhaps going on in that condo, but...
Maybe that's why he was hiding in the bathroom.
Okay. So... We also saw...
Maybe he had food poisoning. Who knows?
Yes, he had food poisoning. We also saw the return of cast member Dina Manzo. She took a bit of a break from all the insanity of all the table flipping for the past couple of years. But we like Dina back on the show, right?
We do. I mean, she sort of lends an air of gravitas to the show. I loved that they sort of broke the... I can't remember, it's the third wall or the fourth wall. They broke that wall when one of the interviewers asked her, kept trying to bring up, oh, and how about you and Caroline? What's going on with you and Caroline? And Dina was like, I'm not going there. Just move on. So I appreciate that.
Okay. All right. Before we leave, I want to play a quick game of who would Vicki Hyman rather hang out with? Are you game?
I'm game.
Okay. We'll do the guys first.
Who's paying? Who's paying?
All right, I'll pay. It's on us. Joe Gorga or Joe Giudice?
Joe Gorga. Joe
Okay.
Gorga.
All right. Reno or Richie?
Ooh, well, I think, oh, that's a really tough one. They both sort of serve the same purpose. Rich.
Okay. Bobby or Jim?
Jimmy.
Okay. All right. We'll do the lovely ladies now. Dina or Caroline?
Dina.
Jacqueline or Kathy?
Oh, Kathy, because Kathy's a wonderful baker. I totally want Kathy to cook for me.
This is true. Teresa or Melissa? You can't think about it.
Melissa.
Okay. Teresa or Nicole?
God. That's like, oh, they're the same person. I don't know. Teresa.
Okay. Vicki, as always, we thank you, and perhaps we can do this next week after the first of 3.
Actually, no. Next week is the secret footage, the lost footage, and the week after that is the first of the 3-part reunion, which means we're pushing into November here.
So we could be doing this for another 4 weeks.
Oh, Anthony, if only.
Okay. All right. Well, as always, Vicki, thank you, and
Thank you.
we'll say goodbye. Thank you, everyone.